Yo, this is Jerry from Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, we are going to be doing a Mac Jones career sim on Madden. As you all know, Mac Jones and the Patriots got blown out by the Bills, so all the Mac Jones haters are out in full force right now. So I disagree with them, and I'm going to go ahead, do a Madden career sim, see if I think what I say about him being the guy, he's the franchise guy, all the quarterback problems are fixed in New England, see if that is true. Let's see what Madden has to do. Here, these are his season stats for this year. I didn't get a clip. I just took them all and put them in from the regular season. So if you want to pause and take a look, or you don't know his exact stats, these are it. 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and first-round exit. Mac Jones, starting out, he had a star development and a 76 overall. So, I mean, not bad, not good. I mean, pretty average all around, I guess. I like the star development. The star development, that's going to help him level up faster. That's how the star development works. So here in year 2 for Mac Jones, he gets a 1 overall jump, and he still has that star development. Pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats here. He has 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. So, I mean, nothing special. I mean, I didn't really see much out of him, I guess. They didn't make the playoffs, so that sucks that you go from making playoffs to missing them the next year. I mean, you're supposed to get better. Other than that, I mean, nothing really stands out. Year 3, this is the biggest jump that I've seen so far with the 5 overall jump. Still has that star development trait. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats for the year. 3,000, almost 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns and 15 picks. I like the jump in touchdowns. The yards are around the same, and the interceptions are around the same. So, yeah, they do make the playoffs here. They make it as a 2 seed, so that means they win their division, and they go on, and they end up losing to the Bengals in the divisional round. So, I mean, it's only his 3rd year. I mean, he's got chances. Year 4, he gets another overall jump. Now he's at an 83, and let's take a look at his stats. He had a little over 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 13 picks. I mean, they ended up missing playoffs, so, I mean, I would like to see him be a little bit more consistent with the playoffs. It is only year 4, so we got that going for us. I like how he's been pretty solid in the touchdowns, and the interceptions, they're all like kind of at the same. Year 5, he's got an 84 overall with still the star development trait. I would like to see that go up to a superstar, but still at a star, so that's a little concerning. But stats for year 5, 4,300, 36 touchdowns, and 11 picks. These are his most yards he's had so far, most touchdowns, and least amount of picks. So by far, this has been the best year for Mac Jones so far, and he makes playoffs. I mean, nothing really surprising there. If this is his best year, they should probably make playoffs, right? Let's see how they do in the playoffs. Looks like they're a first-round exit. That's pretty depressing for how good of a year he had. They were the 3rd seed, which means they still won their division because they didn't make it in as a wild card, but they did lose their wild card team. So that sucks that they went out to a wild card team like that, but it is only year 5, so he does have time to flip it around. Here we have a big jump, 5 overalls. Now he is a 89. Let's take a look at his stats because he still has that star development trait. The stats for the year, 4,800, almost 5,000, 35 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. I mean, that's pretty good. It's actually really good. I don't know why I said pretty good. I would like to see him make playoffs more. He's not consistent with making playoffs right now, but yeah, no, I like the touchdowns. I like the low number of interceptions, and I like the high amount of yards. Year 7, he does go up to a superstar development trait, which is awesome. He stays the same overall, though. So, I mean, I guess I'll trade off the superstar development for overall. Let's take a look at his stats. 4,000, almost 4,400, 37 touchdowns, interceptions, and 11 interceptions, and they do make the playoffs. So let's go take a look how they do in the playoffs. First round exits again. That's a rough Mac Jones, though, looks like he's finally starting to get it going here. In year 7, we are starting to see some sort of growth with the jump in overall and the jump in the development traits. Let's go ahead and see if we can keep that overall going up. Here in year 8, we see another jump in overall by 2, and he still has that superstar development. I wonder how he did for his stats. Let's take a look. Looks like he had 4,459 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, and they did make the playoffs. So, I mean, pretty close to the same year he had before with them making playoffs. Stat-wise, nothing really big sticks out to me. Let's see what they do here. So they make it in as a 3 seed, which means they won their division, and they make it to the AFC Championship but lose to the Bengals. This is the farthest that he's made it in the playoffs all his entire career. So, I mean, that's something going for him. Let's see how he can respond to that, see if he can make it to the Super Bowl or win one. Here in year 9, 92 overall, so he goes up 1, still has a superstar development, and for looking at his stats, this is easily his best year that he's had in the entire league. He ended up leading the league in passing yards with 5,025, 38 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions. Like I said, he ended up leading the league in passing yards, and with that, you got to assume he made playoffs, right? Yeah, he did. Here, they end up as a 4 seed, so they won the division again, and they lose in the division round to the Chiefs. That sucks. I mean, it's good. Mac Jones is putting up good numbers, but the team isn't really having much success with him at quarterback. So, I mean, he's playing good, but the team isn't. I don't know what's going on because he's putting up good numbers. Year 10, looks like he gets the X Factor. That's the big change because the overall stays the same. It's good to see him get an X Factor. It sucks that it took him until year 10 to get it, but it's always good to see an X Factor. Let's go ahead and take a look at the yards and touchdowns. 4,742 yards, 38 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions. So, yeah, they ended up making the playoffs. I don't like all the interceptions he's throwing right now. Those are a little high, but let's see how they do in the playoffs. So they make it as a 4 seed. They take out the Bengals, and they end up losing to the Colts here. And this is in Mac Jones' 10th year. I mean, I don't really know. If he can't make it to the Super Bowl, I don't know if he's going to be able to. Next year, we see a little bit of a drop in overall. Year 11 drops 2. He still has that X Factor. So, I mean, he is getting up there in age. It's just kind of where the overall starts to regress. Let's take a look at his stats. 4,581 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. And the New England Patriots missed the playoffs. It sucks because they were on a 3 or 4 season playoff streak. So, I mean, they've been playing really good. They just did not have much luck when they got to the playoffs. Year 12, we see the same overall. He still has the X Factor, so that is good. Let's take a look at his stats, though. Looks like he has 4,676 yards, 39 touchdowns, and 21 interceptions. The interceptions are high, and that might be part of the reason why they missed the playoffs. So there's nothing really to show you here about them doing playoffs. Let's go on to next year, year 13. You see a 3 overall drop. That's a little concerning. He is in his 13th year, though, so that might be part of the reason to blame. Yards, stats-wise, let's take a look. 4,312 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. They do go on and end up missing the playoffs this year. I mean, it's rough. I mean, he's still putting up good numbers, but they can't get to the playoffs. I don't know if the rest of the team's struggling around him, like the defense or something. I don't know. Year 14, we see a 1 overall drop, so nothing bad there. That's not bad. And year 14, you only drop 1 overall. Not bad. Let's take a look at the yards. 4,643 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, and the Patriots do go on to miss playoffs. It's a little bit surprising here that he hasn't been onto a different team. I'm just going to point that out real quick. He's going on his 15th year, and he's been a Patriot his entire career. So here we see a big drop in overall. He drops down to an 82. This is where it kind of goes bad for him, I guess. His stats-wise aren't bad, but, I mean, after this year, they start looking for a new quarterback. he has 4,650 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. They missed playoffs that year as well, but this is also his last year as a starting quarterback. In year 16, he starts out as the quarterback. He loses his X factor. He starts out the season as the quarterback, but they end up going out and getting a new guy. We'll see here in his stats what I mean by that. You can just tell by the way the stats look. He only has 624 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So it looks like he was playing good, but that guy above him has 4,000 yards. So he looked like he was playing good. I'm not really sure why they went out and got another quarterback if his stats were that good. Maybe there's something, I don't know. Maybe they just wanted a younger guy. Who knows? But he ends up retiring after that year. So let's take a look at his career stats. In his career, he passes for 67,354 yards, 505 touchdowns, throws 224 interceptions. He makes 7 playoff appearances and plays 16 years in the NFL, all with the New England Patriots. That's all we got in the video. If you enjoy, please remember to like and sub, and we'll see you in the next video. Go ahead and comment down below what you think about Mac Jones, what you think about the sim. All right, bye, guys.